Hi, Popcorn Recap here. Today we're gonna recap the 2022 Finnish horror movie called Hatching. If you're on an egg diet these days, this recap is for you. Or if you just like horror movies, then keep on watching. Tinja is doing gymnastics when her mother approaches her while she is vlogging and tickles her. Tinja then walks to her father and tickles him as her mother takes notes. Following that, their entire family waves farewell to the camera, bringing their vlog to a close. Tinja examines the glass after hearing a bang and notices a feather stuck to it. When she opens the window, a crow flies in, knocking over their glass decorations. Matthias, Tinja's younger brother, pursues her while she picks up the broken pieces of the vase. While Matthias and his father strive to catch the crow, their mother is concerned about the decor. When a crow lands on a chandelier, the fixture snaps and falls over a glass table. Tinja covers the crow with a blanket after it settles on the floor. She asks if she may take it outdoors, but her mother insists. To Tinja's surprise, she snaps the bird's neck like she's some psychopathic homemaker. Tinja tosses the crow into the garbage bin on her mother's orders, but as she shuts the lid, she doesn't see that the crow's wings continue to flap. Tinja later meets Rita, the new youngster next door, who allows Tinja to pet her dog. However, the dog bites Tinja's hand, which surprises Rita because her dog has never done this before. Relax, Tinja, the dog doesn't seem rabid. Matthias's mother attempts to sing him to sleep at night, but he continues telling her to be louder. Tinja joins her mother in singing when she is unable to please Matthias. Tinja eventually joins her mother in her bedroom where her mother shows Tinja the new vlog introductory video which presents them as an ideal family. Tinja realizes that her form is awry in a film of her doing gymnastics, so her mother says she'll delete it off the video. Tinja later reveals that Rita had invited her over, but her mother told her to concentrate on an impending gymnastics competition. Tinja is attempting to sleep when she hears a cawing sound and checks the rubbish bin, only to find that the crow has vanished. She follows the sound into the woods and discovers the crow on the ground. Tinja bashes its skull with a rock to put it out of its suffering. Tinja then notices an egg on a nest and takes it home to warm it up beneath her teddy bear. Tinja does the first part of her gymnastics routine beautifully the next day, but she is unable to complete the last flip and land properly. The instructor informs her that if she doesn't perfect it, she won't be allowed to compete. Tinja refuses an invitation to stay out with her other gymnasts afterward, stating she's going for a run. When one of the girls attempts to get Tinja to join them, the other females just leave, claiming Tinja never hangs out with them. Tinja rushes home only to see her mother kissing their repairman, Tero. Yikes. The traumatized little girl leaves with a heart full of questions. Later, her mother enters her room and hands her competition attire. After that, she tells Tinja about Tero, explaining that grown-ups have special buddies. Yeah, special FUBUs, right, Mom? She requests Tinja to keep it a secret before announcing her absence for a few days. Tinja checks the egg after her mother has left and discovered a beating heart inside. Tinja vlogs her father and Matthias baking a few days later. Matthias hugs their mother when she comes, but she points out that Matthias has dirtied her clothes. She greets her spouse and claims she had a wonderful work trip. Tinja afterwards goes to her father's room but is unable to tell him anything. Instead, she claims that her mother attended a good blog seminar. Tinja returns to her room and discovers that the egg is becoming larger, so she tears her teddy bear's chest open to conceal it within. Tinja studies the expanding egg in her bedroom, finding comfort in witnessing the life form within. Rita stops on the way to seek Tinja for assistance in placing missing posters for her dog. Tinja receives a new hairbrush from their mother at home, but Matthias is disappointed when he does not. He rushes away when he notices Tinja's missing dog poster. Soon after, Matthias snitches on Tinja by dropping Rita's dog's carcass on the table. Their parents, however, believe Matthias is lying, so he pushes Tinja in a rage. Matthias puts on his mask and glances around the room after noticing a shadow move in Tinja's room. The bird claws his mask off when he checks beneath the bed. Tinja begins suffering a seizure in the living room while Matthias retreats in dread. When Tinja returns to the room to punish the bird, their mother looks beneath the bed but finds nothing. Still, her mother detects an odor and searches the closet for the destroyed gymnastics gear. Tinja's mother becomes enraged, but Tinja discovers the bird hide on top of the closet and hastily closes it. Tinja, enraged, captures the bird inside the closet that evening. Tinja feeds it when it whimpers, but the bird doesn't move, so she chews the bird's food before spitting it out, which the bird swallows. Tinja begins singing to the bird to calm it down before realizing that it is gradually gaining hair. The bird cuffs again and Tinja hears it saying Ali, so she begins calling it that. Later, Ali emerges from the closet dressed in one of Tinja's gowns. When Matthias finds it, it crawls out of her chamber thinking it is for Tinja. Matthias flees in terror as Ali's body evolves into a humanoid form. Then it enters their mother's chamber and grips her hand before leaving when the mother awakens. Their mother finds the feather on the floor while feeling the fluid on her hands and wanders about with a knife in her hand. When the mother notices Ali's reflection, she turns to face it but sees nothing. Matthias unexpectedly embraces her from behind. Matthias, terrified, claims Tinja is a monster, but his mother believes he had a nightmare. Tinja places a flower in the bird's hair the next day, calling it lovely. Meanwhile, Ali attempts to escape from Tinja's closet. Rita comes home from practice feeling uncomfortable because she senses something following her. Tinja requests her mother to turn back the car, but her mother does not listen. Rita immediately begins to flee in terror. She eventually comes to a halt and discovers Ali in its humanoid form. Tinja then has another seizure in the car, so her mother applies the brakes. Tinja's mother proposes staying at Tero's house for a time before going back home because Tinja appears to be worried at home. Tinja returns to her bedroom without seeing Ali but finds its beak inside the closet. Despite the presence of Tinja's father, Tinja's mother declares at breakfast that they would be staying at Tero's house. Her father just states that he accepts whatever his wife desires and commends her for being strong-willed.
Dude, you're a fucking cuck.
Tinja is greeted warmly at Tero's place. When her mother hears a newborn wailing, she tends to Tero's baby, Helmi, and presents her to Tinja, claiming that her mother died in childbirth. Suddenly, she finds Ali, who appears more like a girl without her beak, standing at the window. She allows her to share the bed. Tinja's mother photographs Tinja's breakfast the next day before she may eat it. Tero is hesitant to share images of his home with the public, but Tinja's mother agrees to crop them so they don't look like his home. That night, Tinja rushes to her room to feed Ali after hearing her wail, but Tero follows. Tinja tries to close the door, but Tero wrenches it open, forcing Tinja to hide behind the door. Tero notices Ali eating from the dish and assumes it's Tinja, so he says he'll contact her mother. When Ali attempts to attack Tero, Tinja closes the door, but Tero's hand becomes caught. Tinja later visits Tero, who is bandaging his hand. Tero consoles her as she continues to apologize and advises she discuss it with her mother. Tero so inquires whether her outburst was related to the competition, but Tinja is unable to respond immediately, especially when her mother comes to transport her to the competition. Outside, her mother films her practice and encourages her to improve. When Helmi cries, her mother instantly comforts her. Tinja catches Ali peering out her bedroom window. Tinja is concerned and insists on taking Helmi with them, but her mother refuses. Ali goes up to Helmi's crib and Tero puts him to bed. Ali lifts an axe over the infant during Tinja's ritual. Tinja notices what Ali is doing and purposely falls off the bar, injuring her hand. Ali too feels anguish and drops the axe. Just as Tero enters the room, Ali leaps out the window, leaving the axe next to the cot. Tinja was not seriously harmed, but her mother is unhappy with the outcome of the tournament. When they return to Tero, he promptly scolds Tinja. Tinja's mother, on the other hand, insists they just returned from the tournament and inquires whether Tero has been drinking. Tero tells them to go to hell, then realizes he doesn't want anything to do with it because Tinja has significant difficulties that her mother ignores. Tinja attempts to reach out, but her mother screams and bangs her head on the driving wheel. Tinja's mother turns to her after wiping away her nosebleed, stating she hopes Tinja would let her be happy. Tinja's father welcomes them, concerned about the bloody mess, but Tinja's mother just greets him with a kiss, stating Tinja insisted on returning home. Ali knocks on her bedroom window again, but Tinja no longer wants her and pushes her away. Ali is discovered by Tinja's father after falling on the grass, who believes she is Tinja, so she carefully crawls away. Tinja approaches her unhappy mother, who merely says she smells, so Tinja bathes and cleanses herself. Tinja's father, on the other hand, lets Ali return to the bedroom and climb into the closet. Her mother eventually drags her out, claiming she needs her for the video. Tinja's mother begins combing her hair because of her beauty, but it is torn away from her head, causing Ali to scream in agony. Tinja tries to take Ali away from her mother as Ali claws at her. Her mother is shocked to find them together. Tinja reveals to her mother that she hatched her, but now she wants her gone, blaming Ali for everything. After soothing Tinja, they raid the kitchen for knives before tracking down Ali. When they hear a noise, they hide in a corner, only to discover that it is Matthias and Tinja's father. Tinja's mother informs them that there's someone that resembles Tinja in the home, therefore they are taking care of it. Matthias smiles as he confirms that what he witnessed was not a nightmare. Tinja's mother looks around her home and notices that the closet is empty. When she turns around, Ali arrives from behind her and grabs her, forcing her to drop the knife. Ali pins her down, but when she eventually obtains the knife, she stabs Ali's leg, which Tinja also feels. Tinja asks her mother what she would do with the injured Ali, and her mother replies that they will get rid of her. Tinja, on the other hand, begins to feel sorry for the sobbing Ali. Her mother strikes with the knife, promising that everything would be well, but Tinja blocks the attack, getting stabbed instead. Tinja's mother, terrified, cries as Tinja collapses on top of Ali. Kool-Aid blood rushes right into Ali's mouth when it gushes out. Matthias and their father come to find the mother sobbing as Tinja dies. Meanwhile, Ali's wounds begin to heal and her eyes become entirely human. She manages to scream before rising to her feet like a fresh Tinja.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.